in your view, what were Tyler's main accomplishments as president domestically? And then if we can go to foreign policy afterwards.
Domestically, I think he was largely constrained by the fact that he was a president without a party. The Whigs largely stymied what he wanted to get accomplished domestically. He had come up with what he called the Exchequer Plan, which was designed to be a middle-of-the-road approach between a national bank and the independent treasury system that had existed under Martin Van Buren, the previous president. So the Whigs, really stymied a lot of what he might have wanted to get done domestically. So I think to a large extent, his accomplishments were found in the realm of foreign affairs or foreign policy. He was known for the annexation of Texas. That was probably his most significant accomplishment. But as I mentioned a few minutes ago, that had some dangerous overtones because it really did exacerbate the sectional conflict that led to civil war. He was also instrumental in the Webster-Ashburton Treaty of 1842, which, although it was known or named for his Secretary of State, Daniel Webster, Tyler did really play a significant role in the negotiations. This treaty settled a long-standing dispute between Britain and the United States over a boundary between British Canada and Maine. So it was a long festering dispute that finally got resolved. Tyler was also the first president to prepare an opening to China. He sent a friend and ally of his, Caleb Cushing, to China to negotiate the Treaty of Wangzhou, which granted most favored nation status to the United States. And this is an interesting development because Tyler largely made his career as someone who was opposed to the British. So anything that was anti-British, he seemed to be for. And the whole motivation behind this opening to China was to undercut the British in China. And then finally, Tyler was the first president to essentially stake a claim, U.S. claim to Hawaii, and in effect translated the Monroe Doctrine from the Western Hemisphere to the Pacific, basically telling European countries that the United States would tolerate no interference in Hawaii. And Tyler's Pacific-mindedness, I argue, led to the further developments in the Pacific in the late 19th century. So he sort of laid the groundwork for what would come much later.